Her perfume lingered on my jacket, but it wasn't hers. It was his, and that scent shattered my world. If this story stirred something in your heart, give it a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe to Revenge Forge, where every story reminds us that pain can lead to power. I'm Mitchell Fenner, 42, a logistics manager at a manufacturing firm in Boise, Idaho, pulling in $195,000 a year. My wife Kendra, 34, owns a boutique catering company serving upscale events for Boise's elite. Her business clears $500,000 annually, a showcase of her elegance and hustle. We've got a son, Owen, 10, with her sharp smile and my knack for strategy. Our life was a well-oiled machine, a modern craftsman home in the North End, a backyard swing set for Owen, and a college fund we'd built for his future. Kendra and I met at a food festival, her wit slicing through the crowd. I proposed under a starlit canyon, and she said yes with a kiss that locked us in. We were a unit, until the gears jammed. My job was about efficiency, optimizing routes, cutting costs, keeping supply chains smooth. Kendra was the artist, her menus turning gatherings into memories. I loved her flair even when it meant late-night tastings or weekend client meetings. I took on Owen's bedtime stories, packed his lunches, kept the home front steady. We synced. But 11 months ago, the rhythm faltered. Kendra grew distant, her warmth fading like a winter dawn. She'd roll in after 10 p.m., her kisses curt, her eyes glued to her phone. Client issues, she'd say, brushing me off. I'd ask, "You okay?" She'd nod too fast. "Just work, Mitch, you get it." But I didn't. The first clue was a scent, cologne, crisp and unfamiliar, on her scarf. I dismissed it, blaming my warehouse visits for paranoia. Then came the late nights, her event prep dragging past midnight. She'd glide in, apron off, smelling of bourbon and that damn cologne. Our evenings, once spent planning Owen's school projects or watching thrillers, became her texting in the dark, her fingers quick, her face glowing with a secret I wasn't in on. I'd try Good Day. She'd shrug, her smile forced, swamped Mitch. But her spark was elsewhere. The real gut punch hit at 2 a.m. Owen was asleep, Kendra in the kitchen. Her phone buzzed on the counter. Tanner Mullins, a text. "You're my spark." My blood froze. Tanner was a restaurant owner, a client she'd met at a catering pitch. I'd met him once, 38, all charm, his cufflinks glinting, his gaze lingering on Kendra. I didn't touch her phone. Not yet. But that name was a fault line, and it wouldn't settle. Things snowballed. Kendra's style shifted, sleeker blouses, flashier heels, perfume that cost more than my boots. She'd wave off my compliments, saying, "It's for the business, Mitch." But her eyes didn't light up for me. At a friend's barbecue, I caught her giggling with Tanner, her hand brushing his arm, their vibe too close. Owen tugged my jeans, asking for a burger. I grinned for him, but inside I was counting every touch. I'm a logistics guy. I don't lash out, I streamline. Kendra's late nights, locked phone, the cologne, it was a supply chain failure. I started tracking. Not stalking, just noticing. Her laptop was always open, emails flowing. One night, while she was at a tasting, I saw a notification from Tanner, "Same hotel tomorrow." My gut twisted, but I stayed cool. I needed concrete, not hunches. The concrete came during Owen's school play. Kendra was tied up with a client, so I went alone, clapping as Owen played a pirate. After I checked her Instagram, a story, a selfie with Tanner at a rooftop lounge, her smile brighter than I'd seen in months. I saved it, my hand steady. That wasn't a client meeting, that was a date. I drove home, Owen singing in the back seat, my jaw clenched. I wasn't breaking, I was rerouting. The next blow landed at a dinner Kendra hosted for her team. She invited Tanner, called him a key collaborator. I grilled steaks, poured wine, played the good husband. Owen was at my mom's, leaving me to watch Kendra and Tanner trade glances across the table. He was all polished, toasting her talent. She glowed, her laugh slicing me. Then he said it, his tone smug. "Mitchell, you're a lucky man. Kendra's a star." I smiled, my grip tight on my glass. "Luck's not the word," I said. "It's trust." Kendra's smile faltered. Tanner's eyes flicked away. The air shifted, but they laughed it off. I didn't. After dinner, I cleared dishes while they lingered in the dining room, their voices low, her giggle too familiar. I didn't confront them. Instead, I dug deeper. Kendra's laptop was still logged in. I found bank records, $20,000 a month to Tanner's firm for consulting services. No contracts, no receipts. Just cash draining her business. My logistics brain saw the scam. This wasn't love. It was a heist. The next twist came when I checked our joint savings, our emergency fund meant for Owen's college. It was short $15,000. I called the bank. The withdrawal was Kendra's a week ago, wired to an account I didn't recognize. My stomach sank. I didn't confront her. I needed more. I contacted a buddy, Vance, who knew Boise's restaurant scene. Check Tanner Mullins's deals, I said. Something's dirty. Vance promised to dig. The final straw was a text I wasn't meant to see. Kendra was in her office door ajar, her phone buzzing at 3 a.m. Tanner. You're worth every risk. I didn't open it, just stared, my blood pounding. I packed a bag for Owen and me, called my sister Lila and said, we need to stay with you. She didn't ask why, just said, come over. I left a note for Kendra, taking Owen to Lila's. We need time. No accusations. Just truth. I drove through the night, Owen asleep, his stuffed shark in his lap. Kendra's lies were a shipment I'd reroute, but first I'd secure my cargo, Owen's heart and mine. Lila's guest room in her Meridian Ranch-style home was a refuge. Its oak floors and soft lamplight a shield against the betrayal I'd left in Boise's North End. Owen slept on a twin bed, his stuffed shark tucked under his arm, his steady breaths calming my pulse. I sat at the kitchen counter, my laptop open, Kendra's texts stacking up like a ledger of broken promises. Mitchell, where are you? I'm sorry, we need to talk. Owen needs me. I didn't answer. Silence was my strategy, and I was mapping each move with the precision of a man who'd spent years optimizing supply chains. Morning came, and I got Owen to school, his backpack bouncing as he waved from the curb. I drove to a diner, its neon sign buzzing, and called Vance, my friend in Boise's restaurant scene. Tanner's deals are rotten, he said, his voice low. He's using Kendra's payments to prop up a chain of pop-up bars, no licenses, no investors. Her $20,000 a month is the only thing keeping it afloat. My grip tightened on my coffee mug. She's in on it, I asked. Vance paused. Unclear. Either she's his mark or she's playing dirty. I'll keep digging. I thanked him, my mind racing. Kendra's catering company was her crown, clearing $500,000 a year. Was she torching it for Tanner, or part of his hustle? Kendra didn't stop pushing. She showed up at Lila's that afternoon, her face bare, eyes shadowed, no trace of her event queen polish. Mitchell, let me see Owen, she said, standing on the steps. I leaned against the railing, arms crossed. He's at school. Saturday, my terms. Her shoulders slumped, but she nodded. I'm trying to make this right, she said, her voice cracking. I didn't flinch. Start with the truth, I said, turning away. Her car lingered in the driveway, but I didn't look. I had a logistics problem to solve. Owen was my foundation. That night I took him to a go-kart track, his eyes bright as he zipped around, his laughter loosening the knot in my chest. Can Mommy come next time, he asked, clutching his trophy sticker. I forced a smile. We'll see, buddy. His question stuck, a reminder of what I was fighting for. Owen deserved his mom, but Kendra's lies were a barrier I couldn't cross, not yet. I tucked him in his shark beside him and vowed to keep his world intact. Vance called the next day, his tone urgent. Tanner's pop-up bars are a front, he said. He's funneling Kendra's money to cover debts from a failed winery in Napa. No contracts, just wire transfers. She's not listed as a partner. My blood ran cold. She's being played, I asked. Vance hesitated. Maybe. Or she's covering her tracks. I found an email she told Tanner to keep her name out of it. Smells like a dodge. I thanked him, my bourbon untouched. Kendra wasn't just cheating, she was either a fool or a fraud. I didn't confront her. Instead, I reached out to a colleague, Nora, who knew Boise's hospitality scene. Look into this bar chain, I said, sending her Tanner's details. Quietly. She agreed, no questions asked. Meanwhile, I kept digging. Kendra's cloud drive was still accessible from when I'd helped with her company's bookkeeping. Late at night, I found more payments, $60,000 total, wired to Tanner's accounts. No invoices, just vague labels like event services. My logistics brain screamed this was a grift, and Kendra was either the victim or the accomplice. The first twist came when I checked our joint savings again. Another $10,000 was gone, wired to the same mystery account. I called the bank, confirmed it was Kendra's doing, and froze the account. My chest burned. She wasn't just draining her business, she was hitting our family's future. I didn't tell her I knew. I sent the transaction details to Nora, asking her to cross-check. It's tied to Tanner's shell company, she said. No trace of Kendra's name. Kendra kept showing up for Owen, not me. She came to Owen's soccer practice cheering from the bleachers, her voice hoarse when he scored. She brought his favorite granola bars, stayed for every goal, didn't push to talk to me. I watched looking for the lie, but her effort seemed real. Owen ran to her after hugging her tight. I let it happen, but my guard stayed up. Kendra's text to Tanner. "You're my spark," still seared my mind. The second twist hit at a corporate event Kendra catered, one she insisted I attend, saying it'd be good for Owen to see us together. I went more to observe than to mend. The venue was flawless, her work undeniable. Tanner was there schmoozing clients, his arm brushing Kendra's as they laughed. She introduced us, her voice too bright. "Mitchell, you know Tanner." He grinned, his handshake firm. "Good to see you, man. Kendra's a genius." I nodded, my smile cold. "She's one of a kind," I said, my eyes on hers. She looked away. During the event, I caught them in a side room, their voices low. "This has to stop, Tanner." Kendra said, her tone sharp. "It's over." He smirked. "You're in too deep, Kendra. Walk away and your company's toast." I stepped back unseen, my pulse pounding. Was she breaking free or playing a deeper game? I didn't interrupt. I just logged it, another piece of the puzzle. Nora called the next day. "Tanner's bar chain is a mess," she said. "Overvalued assets, no licenses. Kendra's money's propping it up, but she's not on any paperwork. If it crashes, she's out $60,000, maybe more." I gripped the phone. "And Tanner?" Nora paused. "He's skimming profits, moving cash to a shell company. Classic con." I thanked her, my mind spinning. Kendra's business was at stake, and Tanner was holding the match. The third twist came from Lila. We were grabbing coffee at a strip mall when she dropped a bomb. "Tanner's married," she said, pulling up a social media post on her phone. There it was, a photo of Tanner with a woman mid-30s, a diamond flashing on her finger. Caption, "My forever starts now." My stomach churned. Tanner wasn't just cheating on Kendra, he was betraying another family too. I took a sip, my voice steady. "Who's she?" Lila shrugged. "Some event planner, lives in Eagle. Name's Elise." I saved the post, my jaw tight. Tanner was juggling 2 lives, maybe more. I contacted Elise through a careful message. "I'm Mitchell Fenner. We need to talk about Tanner and my wife." She replied within hours, agreeing to meet at a cafe in Star. Elise was polished, a wedding coordinator with a no-nonsense gaze. We sat in a corner, Owen and her son coloring nearby. "I knew he was straying," she said, her voice low. "What's your proof?" I showed her the text, skipping the lounge selfie didn't need to hurt her more. She scanned them, her face hardening. "What's your plan?" she asked. I leaned back. "No chaos, just clarity. They don't skate." She nodded, handing me her accountant's card. "Let's share what we find." Back at Lila's, Kendra kept showing up for Owen. She brought him a new soccer ball, sat with him at the park, helped with his spelling homework. I watched her shift, not into the Kendra I'd loved, but into a mom fighting for her son. Owen's smile was brighter, his questions about mommy leaving quieter. I couldn't deny her effort, but every time I looked at her, I saw that rooftop photo, her smile for Tanner. The fourth twist came when Nora called again. That account Kendra wired money to, it's tied to Tanner's shell company, but there's more. He's using her cash to fund a crypto wallet, unregulated, high risk. Her money's his hedge. My jaw tightened. She knew. Nora shrugged. "Doubtful." I found an email. She asked Tanner to handle the investments quietly. Could be ignorance, could be cover. I thanked her, my mind spinning. Kendra wasn't just a victim, she'd been complicit, at least on the edges. I didn't confront her. Instead, I shared Nora's findings with Elise. "Tanner's crypto wallet's under scrutiny," she said over the phone. "My accountant traced it to a federal probe, fraud, maybe money laundering. Kendra's clear, but she's a witness." My stomach dropped. "She's safe." Elise paused. "If she testifies, you okay?" I nodded, though she couldn't see. "For Owen, yeah. We weren't allies, just 2 people cleaning up the same mess." The fifth twist came at Owen's school talent show. Kendra showed up, clapping louder than anyone when Owen performed a magic trick. After, she approached me hesitant. "Mitchell, I'm scaling back the company," she said, focusing on Owen. "I'm done with Tanner." I raised an eyebrow. "Prove it." She pulled out her phone, showed me an email to Tanner. "No more payments. We're through, sent 2 weeks ago." I studied her face, looking for the lie. "Why now?" I asked. She met my gaze. "Because I lost you. I won't lose him." I didn't respond, just nodded and walked away. Her words sounded real, but I'd heard her promises before. The sixth twist came from Elise's accountant. He called, his voice tense. Tanner's bar chain is a front, he said. He's using Kendra's money to pay off a shady lender in Spokane, high-interest bad terms. She's not on the books. My jaw tightened. She's implicated. He paused. Not directly. Her money's clean, but she's a witness. If she cooperates, she's clear. I thanked him, my mind spinning. Kendra wasn't just a mark, she was a loose end in Tanner's dangerous game. That night, Elise texted Tanner's pitching the bar chain tomorrow. Boise, 6 p.m. He's selling shares. I saw my chance, not a fight, but a surgical strike. I called Nora. Get me into that pitch, I said. She hesitated, then agreed. It's exclusive, but I know a guy. Dress sharp. I hung up, my jaw set. Kendra's lies. Tanner's scam, they were about to hit a dead end. I wasn't breaking anything. I was rebuilding justice piece by piece for Owen, for me, for the truth. The Boise skyline glowed beyond the glass walls of the downtown loft, a mosaic of ambition under a rain-streaked dusk. I stood at the back of Tanner Mullins's investor pitch. My suit pressed my face, a mask of steel. Tanner owned the room, his voice slick as he sold his chain of pop-up bars, slides flashing promises of trendy profits. Kendra's money, $60,000, was the fuel for his lie. My phone held the Arsenal Tech's bank records, Elise's accountant's dossier. This wasn't about vengeance. It was about execution, like rerouting a failing supply chain. One strike and Tanner's scam would implode. Nora had gotten me in through a contact, a favor I'd owe later. Elise's accountant had traced shell accounts, inflated projections, proof Tanner was siphoning Kendra's payments. I'd added my own, the texts, the rooftop selfie, the consulting invoices that were pure fiction. It was a digital guillotine, and I held the rope. During a break, I slipped the AV Tech a USB and $200. Run this when I nod, I said. He pocketed the cash, eyes neutral. Tanner resumed his pitch, soaring. This is Boise's nightlife revolution, he said, gesturing to a mock-up of neon-lit bars. I gave the tech a nod. The screen glitched, then exploded with my evidence, texts, wire transfers, Elise's findings. The room froze, investors whispering as Tanner's polish cracked. Technical issue, he stammered, but the slides kept rolling, his fraud laid bare. I didn't linger to watch him flail. I walked out, the city's pulse matching mine. By dawn, X was alive with buzz about the pitch's collapse, a Reddit stories thread dubbing it the stealthiest takedown of a hustler yet. Kendra called at 5 a.m., her voice quaking. Mitchell, what did you do? I was at Lila's, Owen asleep, his shark by his side. I exposed his lies, I said, my tone cold. Your company's safe now. No debt to me. She was silent, then whispered, I didn't know he was scamming. I didn't respond. Her tears were too late, her words too hollow. Elise texted an hour later. Tanner's bar chain is dead. Investors bailed. He's dodging creditors. I felt no thrill, just a nod to justice. Tanner's empire was dust, but Kendra's was wobbling. She'd poured $60,000 into his con money her catering company couldn't spare. I didn't want her destroyed, just accountable. I called my lawyer, updated the divorce papers, but held off filing. Owen was my guide, and I needed to see Kendra's next move. She showed up at Lila's that afternoon, no gloss, just jeans and a weary gaze. I'm selling the company, she said, standing on the porch. It's tainted. I'm starting over for Owen. I crossed my arms, skeptical. And Tanner? She shook her head. He's gone. I ended it weeks ago. She showed me an email to Tanner. No more contact. Done. Sent a month back. I studied her face, searching for the lie. Why should I believe you? I asked. She met my eyes. You shouldn't. But I'll prove it. Kendra started proving it. She showed up for Owen's soccer games, shouting his name when he scored, bringing his favorite juice pouches. She helped with his art project, sat through his piano recital, even tied his shoes before school. I watched her morph, not into the Kendra I'd loved, but into a mom fighting for her son. Owen's drawings at school changed, no more jagged lines, just 3 stick figures under a tree. I couldn't ignore it, but trust was a chasm too wide. That rooftop selfie, her smile for Tanner, still haunted me. The first twist came from Nora. We met at a coffee shop, her laptop open. Tanner's bar scam wasn't just about debts, she said. He was using Kendra's money to fund a shady crypto wallet, unregulated, high risk. Her cash was his hedge. My jaw tightened. She knew. Nora shrugged. Doubtful. I found an email. She asked Tanner to handle the investments quietly. Could be ignorance, could be cover. I leaned back, processing. Kendra wasn't just a victim, she'd been complicit, at least on the fringes. I didn't confront her. Instead, I shared Nora's findings with Elise. Tanner's crypto wallet's under scrutiny, she said over the phone. My lawyer's working with the feds. Fraud, maybe money laundering. Kendra's clear, but she's a witness. My stomach dropped. She's safe. Elise paused. If she testifies. You okay? I nodded, though she couldn't see. For Owen, yeah. We weren't partners, just two people burned by the same liar. The second twist hit when I checked our joint savings again. Another $5,000 was gone, withdrawn by Kendra the day before Tanner's pitch. I called the bank, confirmed it was her, and locked the account. My chest burned. She'd known the pitch was coming and still sent more cash. Was she protecting herself or still tied to Tanner? I didn't ask her. I sent the transaction details to Elise's accountant, who confirmed it went to Tanner's shell company. No trace of Kendra's name, he said. The third twist came at Owen's school. His principal, Mrs. Hargrove, pulled me aside after a parent meeting. Owen's been talking about a visitor, she said, her tone careful. He mentioned a man at your house. My blood chilled. Who? Mrs. Hargrove hesitated. He called him Tanner. I thanked her, my hands steady but my mind racing. Kendra had sworn Tanner was gone, but Owen's words painted a different picture. Was she lying again, or was Tanner still circling? I didn't ask Kendra. Instead, I checked Owen's tablet synced to our family cloud. There was a photo time-stamped last week, Kendra and Tanner in our backyard arguing, Owen in the background with his crayons. You used me, Kendra said, her voice sharp. Tanner smirked. You loved it. I saved it, my logistics brain kicking in. Tanner wasn't just a con man, he was a predator refusing to let go. I drove to Kendra's office, now half empty as she downsized. She was there packing kitchen gear. Mitchell, she said, startled. I didn't sit. Owen saw Tanner at our house, I said, my voice low. Last week. Explain. Her face paled, her hands dropping a tray. He showed up, Mitchell. I told him to leave. Owen wasn't supposed to see. I showed her the photo. He did. Her eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm trying to fix this. I didn't respond, just walked out, her sobs trailing behind me. The fourth twist came from Elise's lawyer. He called his tone brisk. Tanner's in custody, he said. Feds caught him trying to flee to Portland. Kendra's payments are part of the case, but she's not a target. My shoulders eased, but only slightly. She's safe, I asked. He nodded. If she testifies. She's meeting prosecutors tomorrow. I thanked him, my mind spinning. Kendra was clear, but her choices had chained her to a criminal. I met Kendra at a park the next day, Owen playing nearby. The feds are looking at Tanner. I said, my voice flat. Your payments are on their radar. Her face went white. I didn't know she whispered. I thought it was legit. I studied her, searching for the lie. You're a witness, I said. Tell the truth or Owen loses more than a mom. She nodded, tears falling. I'll do whatever it takes, she said. I didn't respond, just watched Owen swing his laughter a lifeline. Kendra cooperated. She met with the feds, handed over emails, bank records, even the backyard photo Owen took. Her company sold for scraps enough to cover debts, but not her pride. She took a job teaching cooking classes at a community center, a humbler role, but honest. She kept showing up for Owen, every game, every school event, every bedtime story she could. I let her under my watch. Owen's smile was worth it. The fifth twist came when I received an anonymous email. Check Kendra's old laptop. I found it in storage at Lila's, still logged into her personal email. There was a draft unsent to Tanner. I know you're using me. I'm out, but I'm keeping the crypto profits. My blood ran cold. Kendra hadn't been entirely naive, she'd planned to take a cut. I forwarded it to Elise's lawyer, keeping my name out. This shifts things, he said. She's still clear, but it's leverage. The final twist came at Owen's 11th birthday. We planned a party at Lila's Balloons, a pirate-themed cake, kids everywhere. Kendra brought a custom soccer jersey with Owen's name, their eyes lighting up as he unwrapped it. We worked together not as a couple, but as parents, setting up games, snapping photos. Owen hugged us both, his joy a fragile bridge. After Kendra handed me a letter, read it alone, she said, then left. I opened it that night, Owen asleep. Lila's house quiet. Mitchell, I broke us. Tanner was a rush away to escape when I felt trapped. I didn't know the full scam, but I took a cut. I'm sorry. I'm rebuilding for Owen, for me. I don't expect forgiveness. Just know I see you, the man I failed. I folded it, my chest heavy. It wasn't redemption, but it was truth. Months later, I saw Tanner on the news, indicted, his mugshot gaunt. I felt no victory, just closure. Kendra and I co-parented not as lovers, but as allies. We took Owen to a science museum, laughed when he got glitter on his nose. I didn't love Kendra anymore. The man who did was rebuilt, tougher, wiser. But I respected her fight to be Owen's mom. My revenge was clean. I exposed Tanner's scam, let Kendra's lies burn her dreams. He lost his freedom. She lost her illusion. I kept Owen, my honor, my truth. This isn't about heroes or villains. It's about choices, consequences, and the quiet strength of moving forward. I watch Owen now sketching in his notebook and know I did right by him. But I wonder, when someone who shattered you tries to rebuild, do you lock the door forever or leave it ajar, not for them but for the boy who needs you both? Betrayal cuts deep, but what you forge from it lasts forever. You're here because this story meant something. Don't scroll away without leaving a like, a thought, and your subscription. Revenge Forge is where real stories find their voice, and yours.